Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new episode of my community question series. This is episode 40, and I've got a great question for you guys today, and that is, do you think you're ever going to stop playing video games? So at some point in your life, do you think that you might stop playing video games altogether and then just focus on doing other things in your life? Or maybe you will just be playing video games until the day you die. Now, you guys know I would love to hear your guys' answer to this question. You guys can answer it in one of two ways, or you can do both. You can leave your answer as a comment, or you can film a video response. So maybe this is one of those questions that you feel you want to go into more detail, and that a video response would be better for you and easier for you to tell your answer. I would love to check out your guys' video responses. I do appreciate anybody who ever films them for my community question series. I just ask that if you do film it, to let me know about it, because YouTube is really terrible when it comes to notifications. They don't always notify me when people upload videos, and I would hate to miss it. I will also post a link to your video so other people can check it out. There is a reminder I wanted to give you guys that I am holding a contest at the end of this question series, and I will be ending it next year in 2024. And the grand prize in that is going to be a console. I'm going to give away a console for the winner's choice, and I've got a couple consoles set up already. I've got an Xbox 360 and a Nintendo Wii, and I am looking into getting a couple other ones to add to that, and that grand prize winner will be able to choose whatever console they want and some games for it. So if maybe you win, you don't have an Xbox 360, you could pick that Xbox 360, and now you'll have one for your collection, and you'll have a little stack of games to start you off with. So make sure you guys participate if you would like to be entered in that contest. You guys get one entry for a comment, and you get one entry for a video response. Now if you do both, you get two. And with this video, it's 40. If you go back and do my previous 39 other questions, because you can always go back and answer them, even if my as long as the contest hasn't concluded, you can go back if you missed them and get entries. So you could get up to 80 entries into that contest by doing a question and video response to each question. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through and answer every question if you don't want to. But if you would like to pick up some additional entries, and you'd like to check out some of my previous questions, I would love to read them. Just because it's my first question or 10th question and you missed it, don't feel bad. I love reading your guys' responses, even to my older questions, as I've been running this contest for a couple years now, and it's been really fun interacting with you guys. I love reading your guys' responses. I've loved watching your guys' videos, because we all have our own different ways of collecting, our own opinions, and it's really nice just to get different perspectives from you guys. And you guys think about something different that I would think of, and it's like, oh, that was really cool. Yeah, I didn't think of that. So I do appreciate your guys' participation in this series. Of course, you guys know I always answer the question, and so I will be answering this question. Do I think I'll ever stop playing video games? Personally, I would like to think that I'm going to play video games until the day I die, as I'm just a huge fan of video games. I'm very passionate about them. I have been buying games and collecting games and playing them since I was 4 years old, and that was back in 1989. This is now 2023. In a couple months I'm going to be 39, so I've been playing games for over 34 years, and I really don't see myself stopping with gaming. Now, of course, these days I don't play as many games as I did when I was younger. I mean, when I was younger, I would put in 20, 30, 40 hours in a week gaming, and nowadays I get a lot less, because as we get older, we have more responsibilities. I am married, I do have a son, I do have obligations with friends and family. I do have other hobbies that I like to get involved in besides just gaming, but gaming has just always been a staple in my life, and it's just always been a nice thing to do, and just something that's really fun. I like playing games like this RoboCop Rogue City here, just having fun, being able to go through a story and just get immersed in the world, and to just get lost. And they can be great ways to tell really fantastic stories and stuff, especially with how crappy the world can be at times. It's really nice to just escape from all the problems you have and all the issues out in the world, and just get lost in a world in a video game. And that's something I really love about them, because they're so interactive, and you get to be involved in the story. It's like, I like reading some books, but a video game for me is just even more immersive than a book is, because you get to be interacting with that world, and you get to play as that character. Like in this RoboCop game, you get to play as RoboCop and experience the world through his eyes and actions that you control. And that's something I really love about the medium of video games. It's just so interactive compared to like books or movies or TV shows. That you're just watching as a spectator. But in video games, you get to be play as a protagonist. You get to be actively involved in it. And I have played some of the cool VR stuff, which is really awesome. Like, you really feel like you're in the game. My brother let me try it on his PC earlier this year, and I had a lot of fun with that. So that's something that's really cool. And I've been playing a lot of games over the years, and I've built up a really big collection here, and I've just had a lot of fun with it. But I know that as we get older, our tastes change, so there are some games that I used to love playing as a kid that I no longer play, as I've just lost interest in them. It's the same thing with like TV shows and stuff. You love stuff as a kid, and then you look back as an adult and see it again, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen that show in a while, I should pop it in, and you watch it now, you're like, ooh, I don't know how the hell I enjoyed that show as a kid. Like, it's really corny and kind of stupid, but as a kid, you like stuff that you're always going to like as an adult. Now, there are still some shows from when I was a kid that I still love, like the old classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 80s and the original Transformers and stuff. I love watching those. Those are classics I could still watch today. But, sometimes you do run into stuff when you get older. You're just like, man, I can't believe I like that show. It's pretty bad. It's terrible. Like, an example, like as a kid, you might have enjoyed watching Elmo or Sesame Street or something. And obviously now when you're an adult, you're not going to enjoy watching Sesame Street. And if you maybe had some of these like Sesame Street games that you played as a kid, of course, that's what they were geared towards, is toward children. You enjoy playing those games. But these days, your taste change. You're like, well, I'm not going to play like Elmo's Letter Adventure for the NES or something. But as a kid, you might have enjoyed it. So I do know that, our tastes change as we get older, our priorities change. We end up getting more responsibilities. And I know that we're all in different points of our life, because somebody who's young, that's still in high school, living at home or something, you don't have those kind of same responsibilities as a guy that's like myself, that's a father, and you have a family and everything, and you work and pay bills and all that. Like when I was younger and just in high school, I didn't have any priorities other than I needed to make sure I got school done with so I could graduate, and make sure that I was working my jobs to earn money because I wanted to move out, which I did. So I had a lot of free time to play games besides going to school and working. So I didn't have any other distractions, so I could involve myself with more gaming. Same thing when I was younger as a kid. You really just have to, you go to school and worry about doing that, and then you have all this free time when you can play games and do whatever you want. And so when you're younger, you always have a lot more time to do stuff. But as you get older, you start having more responsibilities on you. Now, not everybody will. There are some people, I have some friends who are single, never got married, they never planned to get married, they just love being single, and they just like doing whatever the hell they like to, and some of them are big gamers, so they spend most of their free time gaming and hunting and going to work, and that's what they love to do. I mean, I love gaming as much as the next guy, but I also like to do other things besides just gaming. It's always good to have that balance in life where you don't do too much of something, because too much of anything is bad for you, so it's great to have moderation. And so I have been enjoying playing more games in my collection, especially the last few years, because one of my biggest goals was to play more games in my collection. I was buying and buying and buying, but I wasn't playing as much. And it's like, well, you're buying this, and these games are meant to be played, so you should start playing them. And so I started setting aside some more time to play games instead of just spending all that time going out hunting and looking for games. And so I've been doing well with that goal, and I've played quite a few games this year and had a lot of fun. I do love playing games with other people as well. Multiplayer and local co-op is fun. I love playing like the Mario Party games with family and friends, or the Mario Karts. There's a local barcade. It's an arcade that has a bar that has old arcade games and Nintendos and stuff that you can play there, and it's just really fun to go out with friends and family, and you have just a fun night of gaming and reminiscing about memories and talking and having some drinks and eating and just having a real fun time with gaming. And so it's just something that I really like because I enjoy gaming. It's just fun for me. It's a hobby that's fun. That's the key factor, is it's fun. Like if it stopped being fun, obviously I would stop playing games, because I've seen people here on YouTube, some bigger YouTubers who do YouTube as a living, and they stream video games every day, and that's all they do for a living, is they have to play games daily, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, streaming games, getting donations from people. But you can tell in their facial expressions sometimes they don't really want to be playing the games that they are, but they have to play them because that's what their audience wants, and that's how they make their money. And for me, that'd become a job and a chore, and it would just make me not want to play games. And somebody asked the dude They were one of the people here that I've watched asked him, like, do you ever play games on your own? And he said no, because he's like, if I'm playing games, I could be streaming for you guys. So I save all my game playing when I'm streaming, but I don't play them for my own leisure time. I only play them for making videos and streaming for you guys. So that's the only time I play them. Otherwise, I don't. So to me, that just sounds like it becomes a chore for you, and you're doing it as a job, and it's not something you really love and enjoy. So for me, that's why I keep video games as a hobby, and why I'll never turn it into a job like that. And if I did that, I would eventually get burned out from it, and just like, okay, I'm sick of playing games. I want to do something else. I'm tired of sitting here, 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day playing games. Like, eventually you'd get bored with it. As much as I love video games, I couldn't just play them nonstop, and that's the only thing I do in my life. But as we get older, like I said, I mentioned, our tastes change, and our focus change, and our priorities change, and you end up having less time, and then you find you start wanting to do other things, because it's nice to go outside and enjoy nature, and go on hikes and bike riding and stuff, and go out swimming. Just do some other hobbies as well. Spend time with your significant other, spend time with your kids, make memories and stuff. But I think I'll always be playing games, but I definitely know I won't be playing them as much as I did as a kid. There's never going to get back to a point where I'm just gaming, 15 hours a day and 6 days a week. Those days are long gone for me, and it can feel kind of sad in a way, but it's also another way it's kind of good, because you don't want to spend your whole life just gaming only. You want to have other things. But I think that for the most part, I would like to keep gaming. Now, I really don't see myself staying up with mainline games, sticking up with current generation, because eventually we are going to go to digital only games. And I had talked about this in one of my recent discussion videos about modern gaming, and our focus of going to digital only. So at some point I will stop playing the new games, even if there's a new game I really want to get. But if it's digital only, I'm not going to pick it up, and I'll just focus on the games I already have in my collection, because I have a massive collection of games here that'll keep me busy for the rest of my life anyways. And so in a way, it kind of sucks that we're going to digital, but in another way, it's kind of good, because it'll force me to stick to the stuff I already have and not pick up any more new stuff, which is good in its own way, as, gaming is evolving and changing, and it's adapting, and it's targeting a younger audience who likes things different than an older gamer like myself that loves, my single-player games and simpler games, that kind of thing. The kids today and younger generation, they love the Fortnites, they love the Call of Duties, they love the multiplayer features, they love the fast action games. They don't really care about the story, they just love the action and battling. And so that's where the money is, and so that's where our industry is moving to. So I definitely see myself stop playing modern gaming, but stick to the older games that I already have. And it's definitely something I would look forward to when I retire. I would love to devote some time to gaming. Obviously, I'm not going to just, sit around and only play games when I retire, but it'd be nice to just sit back and relax, do some gaming, but then also be able to spend time with my wife and my son, and maybe future, have grandkids or something. That'd be cool. But I would love to know your guys' answer, though. Do you guys think you're ever going to stop playing video games? Or, do you think you're going to come to a point where you're just going to get bored with the hobby and just, I'm kind of done playing games and move away from it? Because I've got a few friends who have pretty much stopped playing video games, other than like the one guy, he plays Madden every year, and that's literally it. He doesn't play any other video game. He just plays Madden. He's a big sports guy. He's more into baseball and football and soccer and tennis and that kind of stuff, and he likes going to games. He likes actually playing sports, and his one thing is he loves his Madden, so every year he always gets the newest Madden, and he'll get the new console. Like, he has a PS5 now, and then he gets the new Madden stuff. But he's not really a gamer. He wouldn't consider himself a gamer. He's just a guy that likes to play Madden, and that's the only thing he plays. So maybe you guys would be like that too. So I'd love to hear your guys' answer to this question. Like I said, you can answer it as a comment. You can answer it as a video response. I just ask if you do film it as a video response, to let me know about it. That way I can check it out, and then I'll leave a link to your video as I'll leave a link as a comment for your video so people can check it out. And don't forget that there is a contest I'll be holding at the end of this question series, and you'll get an entry for doing a comment. You'll get an entry for doing a video response. If you do both, you'll get two. And you can go back at any time and answer any of these previous questions you might have missed, as long as that contest hasn't concluded, because I would love to hear your guys' answer to my other questions. Just because you missed it and it was 20 questions ago, you can go back today and answer them, and you'll still get entry into the contest, and I'll still be able to interact with you guys and see your guys' response to those questions. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy, we'll see you next time.